Alright, hello everyone, this is Kuroda giving you game 1 in a series, or actually no, this is I believe just a best of 1 between Bomber and, is it Keen? Bomber and Keen here on Whirlwind LE. On the top right hand side of the map we have Keen spawning as the blue Terran player. Meanwhile on the bottom left we have Bomber spawning as the red Terran. Terran versus Terran in this matchup. Feels like I've been casting a lot of TBTs lately. I promise, or I will try not to cast so many TBTs moving forward, as, well, TBTs can tend to be a very long, drawn-out stalemate at times. We can see both players pretty much doing very similar builds. I would be surprised if I saw a refinery before a supply depot, as that would be perhaps a rather risky build, if I must say, as we are now going into SCVs, both sides training up. We may see a barracks or a command center first. Both options are viable because of the size of the map. Whirlwind, a rather large map in the current BattleNet ladder map pool, as we see Keen looking to go for a barracks first. Meanwhile, it looks like Bomber is going to be going for a command center first. My apologies, I can't see how many SCVs are currently queued up here. I do believe a fair number of them, and that is the reason why Bomber doesn't have that much resources yet. He should end up building up a command center perhaps over here on the ramp, but this is rather risky of him. I would have expected that Bomber would have placed down the supply depot here, then placed the command center. No, he is just going to place the command center straight up at the natural expansion location. A very risky and bold maneuver, as we now see a barracks should be started in the next 20 seconds or so. So we are looking at a barracks now being placed up on the high ground here. You can see Bomber is setting up this command center. This SCV is not going to scout out his opponent for quite some time, as we are now looking at harvesting gas. There's that final supply depot. We should be transitioning then into a factory, and will we be seeing the similar style of play where players are going for faster cloaked banshees? I don't believe so. I believe this patch still has cloaked banshee research at 200 minerals and 200 gas. So it may just be the typical or the older strategy where you try to use Hellions and Hellbats. Reaper instead being trained up instead. So yes, it looks as though I have no idea what the players are trying to do at all, as a Reaper now makes his way out across the map here. The Reaper could have gotten a lot of damage down onto this one particular command center if he had in fact spotted it, but he has not scouted out his opponent yet. Keen still playing in the dark against Bomber, and he is going to be unfortunate, as you can see that the command center is just now getting started. Meanwhile, the orbital command here is already being upgraded. Harvester count is going to be 18 to 17. That's going to be even for a little bit longer, as we are now going into more and more Marines. Marines and Reapers, I believe, both have a shooting distance of 5 now, as opposed to 4.5, which Reapers were having for a little bit of time. Let's take a look here. Oh. Nope. All right. Anyways, just taking a quick look at all of the changes in the interface. As we can see that the Reaper is attempting to move out here. He is going to be scouting around and then perhaps trying to take down a couple of easy units. You can see that the one Reaper here is now making its way inside and looking to get in a lot of damage, taking down that one particular SCV. Still taking a look. Wait. There we go. I was wondering why it looked like the game speed was actually on normal instead of faster. That Reaper wasn't moving nearly as fast as it should have. As we now see that the Reaper is sneaking around, it does get shot down there and gets taken out. So what are we going to be seeing next? We can see that the reactor is currently being added on here. We could be going into Hellion play. Meanwhile, we are already adding on Hellions here and going into a starport. Do we see an armory? Yes, we do. It is going to be Hellbats coming in from Bomber. And Bomber, with those Hellbats, is looking to do a lot of damage here. And I don't know if this strategy is really going to work here. So far, what we see is that Keen is just getting into his tech. If he even goes for an early starport with a Viking, he could shut down this expansion, or shut down this harassment before it really got started. There are Marines in play. There are Hellions down as well. What is going to be added? It looks as though it is absolutely no. It is going to be a medevac. So the medevac and perhaps an elevator drop inside the main or the natural. So far here, though, the bunker on the front door going to do a lot of damage to the units if they try to come up that ramp. Bomber going to be playing a little bit defensively here, knowing that Keen could have a very, very easy time with that stronger army, since he does have a little bit more supply and he has spent a little bit more towards his army than Bomber has at this point. However, Bomber doing a quick turnaround here, now double training medevacs. Give me one moment. Alright, welcome back to the game. As I do get things going once more, it looks like Keen is going to be pushing out with a rather decent size of Marines and Hellions, but it's not really going to stand up well against the SCVs that can repair this bunker and the 2 Hellions here. There is a much, much larger force, and it looks like Keen instead is going to be going for a drop on the far side. You can see double medevacs will be trained. There are Hellbats in position, and you can see a quick scanner sweep revealing what is currently going down. Oh, that has been spotted very, very easily though, and Bomber now pretty much knowing, oh, Hellion's going to do a quick drive-by here, trying to get some SCVs. Looks like he has found a couple, as the bunker now being built behind the back. You can see a whole bunch of SCVs now getting taken down here, and it looks like more and more SCVs are going to fall, and this is going to be an absolute destructive battle here. 12 workers already killed, as we're now looking at a drop into the main. Alright, the missile turret just now gets completed, but the medevac has already unloaded everything. It does get taken down though, as we're now looking at double medevacs, looking to perhaps do another afterburner boost inside the main here. This is going to be a crazy, crazy destruction on both sides, as another Hellbat does get taken down. Vikings are now being brought over, as the Hellbats come in here. Hellions unable to really fight back, and I believe, yes, these Hellbats do have that extra damage versus light, even though you don't see that blue flame tech. Hellions now trying to fight back here, and both sides losing much of their forces. Hellions continuing the fight. You can see the supply depot has been raised right there, and the Hellions are doing a great job using their range to take down Bomber's units. Bomber is now in a bit of trouble. He is down a significant number of workers, 41 to 22, and the supply difference is 63 to 50. This is not looking good for Bomber at all. His army is slightly larger, and that is about it. And he knows he needs to do something drastic. He needs to be aggressive. He cannot simply sit back and hope that he can macro enough. He needs to deal this damage and deal much of it. Alright, let's take a look. There is a bunker here. There is a missile turret ready to go. Hellion is going to perhaps scout out. Is he going to scout out this? No, he is not going to scout out this. And what are we taking a look at next? SCV is now being transferred back up to the high ground here. There are Marauders. There's a Viking and a missile turret. Keen seems to know what needs to happen from Bomber, and Bomber needs to know what he needs to do. Who's going to be able to execute this better? One Marine. There's the Viking, and the Viking should be getting off shots. Oh, quickly goes into the ground mode to avoid some damage. You can see there how much damage is being dealt already. SCVs need to perhaps start repairing, but this is not looking good at all, as you can see more and more battles coming in. Viking now trying to push this all back, as the Viking wars are continuing. The double reactor production, or the reactor production, allowing Bomber to take air superiority away from his opponent, and now the 2 Vikings are pretty much sitting overhead, able to do anything they want. Marauders still wandering around here. The Vikings now backing off. Harvester count is currently sitting at 50 to 36. Workers killed 24 to 6 here, as Bomber now makes another move forward with more Hellbats. If at first you don't succeed with Hellbats, try again. And this is going to be another Hellbat drop with that blue flame, or with that damage upgrade, I believe dealing 24 damage per attack, allowing you to really two-shot any worker on the field. You're going to see perhaps these 2 medevacs making their way in. Are SCVs being brought over? No, Hellbats are just walking across the map here, and this is a lot of Hellbats. Those Hellbats could deal a lot of damage. The medevacs now looking to walk around once more. The Marauders and the bunker right there able to do a lot. You can see Hellions are in position here, and it looks as though we are going to be going into a huge Hellbat drop. 10 Hellbats off of 5 medevacs with Viking support, and with no air superiority, this is going to be bad. Medevac now trying to run away. You can see that the Vikings are coming in. There goes the attack there, as the Hellbats quickly rush in. More Hellbats drop down, and this is going to be the destruction that Bomber was looking for. All the units are now down. The medevacs are in position. Are they going to try to drop down on more units? Beautiful micro by Bomber, constantly using the faster movement speed of the medevacs to pick units up and then drop them back down. A huge destructive battle there. Not a good day to be an SCV here on Whirlwind. As you're going to take a look once again. Oh, are the Hellbats dropping? Yes, they are dropping from the sky, taking down even more units. It looks like the damage has been dealt, though. Things have been equalized. 26 workers killed compared to 24. Total workers now 52 to compare to 40, as the Marauder tries to finish off that last Hellbat there. You can still see more medevacs making their way in. And now what's going to be happening next? Another Hellbat drop. All right, more Marines just absolutely getting torched. And Bomber is just making this look easy with so much micro. Viking now trying to shoot down a couple of medevacs. It looks like this medevac could get taken down. Oh, so many SCVs. That could be bad. What was Keen thinking? Oh my goodness, so many SCVs lost. 35 workers killed. And Bomber now finding a way to not only get back into this, but take the lead after he was down. Beautifully done, as he does have a third command center with a fourth one on the way. He's running up on 3 bases, and I can't see how Bomber could possibly lose this match. So far, the Marauders and just slowing down all of those Hellbats. That is an important upgrade that we haven't seen a lot. Concussive shells was really popular during Wings of Liberty, but was not that popular and now in Heart of the Swarm. More Hellbats dropping down from the skies, taking down more units. Oh, so many SCVs. Oh my goodness, so much damage. Had 44 workers killed already, up to 46 now, as the Hellbats looking to finish off a handful more Marines. And more mules now being called in as well. What is going on? The Marines jumping inside that bunker. More Marines being trained up here. 2 Marines, 2 Marauders, 2 Vikings, 2 SCVs, and 2 Widow Mines, with now another starport coming in to hopefully take air superiority away. Bomber deciding not to change his strategy, said, you know what? Hellbats seem to be working. Let me just drop more Hellbats in. There's already so much damage here. Perhaps I can get even more worker kills. You can see that the Hellbats coming in overhead. You can see that there is only about, 5 seconds left. The Vikings are right here, and they are going to spot this. Vikings now trying to make their way in. Oh, is it going to get taken down? No, it is not. The Hellbats and those precious medevacs now in full retreat. Keen still does not know about an expansion here at the 9 o'clock location, but he is fully behind. Worker count 70 to 45. That is not looking good at all. What is that? A 25 worker difference between these two armies. And we are looking at a lot more mules. Bomber with over 700 resources more per minute than his opponent, and that's pretty much like giving 14 Marines away every minute if you are not trying to tip the scales in order to get a stronger economy. Vikings still on the move. This one Hellbat on the ground. It does have that little bit of that little duck walk right there. Wandering around looking for where exactly Keen could try and get back into this. We can see, however, that Keen is extremely far behind and still needs a lot of help. You can now take a look. SCV down here on the low ground still hasn't bothered to take a look up onto the high ground. Bomber doesn't even know that there's an SCV scouting right there, as we are going into a planetary fortress. Once Bomber gets up to 200 supply, I gotta believe he is gonna move out with his much improved army, adding in siege tanks to his medevacs, or medevac Vikings and Hellbats that he has been using throughout this game so far. Keen now setting up on 3 bases still. He is still down by about 25 workers. So many Hellbats in this army, and on top of that, a lot of Vikings in this army as well. You can take a look. The total Hellbat count is currently sitting at 40 Hellbats making a move out onto the field. The Marines are not going to be able to do anything at all, as you can see how much damage is already had. The Vikings now engaging in a war here, and Keen does have air superiority, and he also has two Banshees. So the Banshees are actually going to deal a lot of damage as well. Meanwhile, Hellbats dropping straight up inside the base here. Medevacs getting destroyed. But there is so much damage to be had. All right, medevac after medevac now destroyed here. Meanwhile, coming back here, it looks like Keen found the perfect unit combination to win out that fight. Beautiful, beautiful hold by Keen. getting 2 Banshees and to clean up or add a lot of damage potential, making sure to clean up all of those Hellbats there. He had the Viking superiority, as now Bomber, however, re-macroing, re-getting up his army. You can see siege tanks are being added and missile turrets are being thrown down. All right, Banshees going after the units here. Another SCV gets taken down. Vikings going to quickly take over the air here as what are we going to be seeing? It looks as though, yes, siege tank after siege tank getting destroyed as more damage coming in. However, a Thor going to make short work of anything that those Banshees can do. All right, 1 sensor tower still there. There's the scanner sweep. 1 sensor tower, 1 missile turret. SCVs perhaps going to try to rebuild up that missile turret there. But with that planetary fortress, this fight is not going to be looking good at all. Wow, poor Hellion getting destroyed right there, I believe. Only unit on the field with a wheel, as Bomber now going to be losing his scouting barracks. Another interesting point to note there is, oh, here comes the attack. Marauders now trying to come in, and it looks like it's going to do a lot of damage. The planetary fortress is being repaired. Is it going to matter enough? Yes, it will, as the planetary fortress is taken down. It is now 3 bases to 3. Keen did do absolutely what was necessary, but is it enough? Vikings now making a flyby over. It's going to land, but it's going to land just to see a whole bunch of siege tanks roll on in and push them back out. A planetary fortress at the 6 o'clock position. Bomber's ninja expansion at this point. He is still up on bases 4 to 3, and he's only mining with mules out of this location, knowing that those mules are temporary and he isn't really risking anything right now. Planetary Fortress very effective at destroying any sort of small ground force, as Bomber has now remaxed back up. Viking now going into the mode here and now attempting to shoot down the command center. Command center already down to 1100 some odd hit points. Hellbats are now making their way over, and are the Hellbats going to do enough damage? The Vikings quickly jump into the air as the command center is being repaired. The Vikings not able to do much, and what is this Bomber going to be bringing over? A huge army, and this may take down everything. Couple of Widow Mines now have been destroyed. 3 Thors, in addition to so many siege tanks. Hellbats destroying all of these SCVs. Main attack force now moving in on the far side as well. Marines and Marauders are much faster, as the Vikings are using those Gatling guns, attempting to take down a planetary fortress that will not fall. Hellbats and siege tanks now regrouping here in the center, and I believe Bomber is going to take this game very easily. Thor is now even making their way over here to the to this 4th base, and with all of those these Thors here, so much damage had. You can see the damage. The Hellfire missiles. Is it Hellfire missiles? I don't know. I don't remember the name of the attack any longer. My apologies. Hellbats once again going to clean up the rest of this Bioforce, and with 100 supply difference between these 2 armies. Also, 0 bases compared to I guess, well, 1, no, not even. No mining. Okay, so 0 bases compared to a half a mining base. This is a bit of a surprise. Bomber just pretty much saying, you know what, I've already got this, and I'm just going to attack, move straight into this army. Keen has not rebuilt a command center. He is not mining anywhere, and that has got to be the GG. Wait, is he... Keen has built his base. His command center is off over here, and he is just trying to stay in this game as long as he can. Siege tanks have siege mode. Hellbats are there to reinforce. This is not going to bode well at all for Keen, as the siege tanks do a final push here. The Medivacs, and there is the GG. Bomber easily taking this game over Keen. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed game 1 of this best of 1 series. I still will be casting more games today, but I hope you guys enjoyed it.